Hey guys, I just picked up a copy of Super Mario All-Stars. This game, although not necessarily rare, is certainly highly sought after for the obvious reason that it's, four classic games done on a classic Nintendo system. And, because of the fact it's pretty sought after, it can usually ring in between $20-$30 just for the cartridge. The price is a little higher, compared to something like Super Mario World. And I picked this up for $5.99 at Value Village. I was very surprised to see it. It was actually hiding behind two copies of Super Mario World, of all things. And, I wasn't expecting anything good. That's pretty awesome. So let's check this game out, shall we?
So here we go with the title screen. This game came out in 1993 for the Super Nintendo, and it was actually at one point given away for free. They had a mail-in special. If you bought a Super Nintendo, send in the UPC code, and they'd send you Mario All-Stars for free. So as we can see here, this is a collection of all the Mario games. Here's Mario 1, here's the Lost Levels, which is essentially the real Mario 2. This is the American version of Mario 2. And here's Mario 3. Now each game gives you 4 save slots, so there's a lot of save room in here for each game, which is a nice feature. So we'll start off with Mario 1, and just for comparison reasons, I'm going to show you the original Mario 1 on the NES. So here of course is the same spot on the original NES, and we fade back to the Super Nintendo. So, I mean, obviously they vamped up the graphics. Here you can see the graphics, on the NES. This is originally all black background. So they've added in, animated backgrounds and multiple layers. And, obviously the sprites and everything are, more Super Nintendo-ish. The music's been redone. And like I said, the save feature, which you never had those options in any of the original Mario games. Now here you can save and quit at any time, and it'll bring you back to the last one you played. So we were just playing Mario 1. Now we can check out the Lost Levels. Now the Lost Levels is the original Mario 2. In Japan, they came out with a true sequel for Super Mario Brothers, and, well, basically what happened is Nintendo of America decided to have their own version of Mario 2. For whatever reason, they didn't want this one. Now this one is pretty hard, and the graphics were not upgraded from Mario 1. It was like the exact same engine, exact same graphics and sprites and everything like that. It was literally just like a new batch of levels. And for, I guess, those reasons, they thought they'd give us our version of Mario 2. So here's our version of Mario 2. This is the American version of Mario 2. Now, this game is actually basically like a port of another game, a not Mario game whatsoever, from Japan, and I can't remember what the game's called right now, and god damn it, I'm already recording, so I'm not gonna go look. But it's a Japanese game, has absolutely nothing to do with Mario. They literally just took that game and stuck the Mario characters over top. So this is our version of Mario 2, and it's actually not a Mario 2 game. Now here it is on the NES, once again just for comparison. You can see how the graphics looked on the NES, and how they've been revamped on the Super Nintendo. Now basically this exact version of the game was also ported to the Game Boy Advance, and I believe it was a launch title for the Game Boy Advance. Yes, it was a launch title for the Game Boy Advance, and it basically was this exact graphics and sound, just ported over to a wider screen format for the Game Boy Advance. And it is an alright game, and I'd like to see the original and play the original. I wish for the life of me I can remember what it's called. I could probably go look that up now. Let's see, Super Mario 2. I'm actually recording this, yes I know. Super Mario 2, Super Mario 2. Now, they've got it, there it is. Oh god, I couldn't pronounce that if I wanted to. Japanese Famicom, Yumi Kujo Doki Doki Panic. Well, there you go. If you can find that, and play that, basically what you have is Mario 2 without the Mario characters. And, you know, for that reason, some people may not like this version of Mario 2. But, you know, it's a fun game, and it's nice to see it on here. Of course it's going to be on here. And now we move on to Mario 3. You know. Here, of course, we see Mario 3. And once again, graphics, you know, pretty much revamped. And so here we go, the first level here, and that comparison. Here's the NES version. And we'll fade back to the Super Nintendo version. Now, this game, and by this game I mean like literally these graphics and everything, was also ported to the Game Boy Advance. And I believe it was called Super Mario Advance. It would have been 2, Super Mario 3. And once again, it's these exact graphics and exact, you know, sound, just ported over to the wider screen format of the Game Boy Advance. Now, I always thought that was really a big ripoff, because here on the Super Nintendo, you bought Mario All-Stars, and you got 4 games all in one. And on the Game Boy Advance, you know, they basically just took the Mario 2 out of this and stuck it on a cart. And then they basically just took the Mario 3 out of this and they stuck it on a cart. Really, that was just a money grab. I mean, to port this entire thing over to the Game Boy Advance wouldn't have really been any harder to do. And, you know, to give you just Mario 2 and then Mario 3, and I thought that was kind of cheesy. They should have just brought Super Mario All-Stars Advance, brought it all over, and gave you all 4 games in one cartridge like they did here. Because, you know, this is a great buy, and it's a good value. And you know, to just report a game and bring it out, you know, and resell it, that's no big deal. But to put it in a compilation like this and give you essentially 4 games, 4 good games, and revamp them all, that's awesome. And Super Mario All-Stars, you know, it's definitely worth picking up. If you're a Mario fan, obviously you've played these on the Nintendo, and, you know, if you have a Super Nintendo, definitely pick this one up.